Greg Koch here. Wildwood Guitars is the location. The specimen I'm playing here is one of these Masterbuilt Eric Clapton Stratocasters from the custom shop at Fender. This one, Masterbuilt by John Cruz, who's a warrior. All right, he's a wizard. And the serial number on this is JC764, weighing in at 8.27 pounds. It's got a 9.5-inch radius, folks, but it's got vintage-style frets. Kind of an interesting thing. Flatter radius with the smaller frets gives, I personally think it's easier to do certain vibratos, and so on and so forth. Anyways, it's got vintage noiseless pickups in it. It's got a soft V-neck, but it's got that Eric Clapton preamp in it, folks, and I was trying to exemplify in that opening thing. I was playing on the neck pickup, clean, with the volume scaled back a little bit, turn the volume all the way up, and then I added the preamp to it because the preamp's always on, folks. And so when you have the volume all the way up on the guitar, even with the preamp not engaged, the preamp is activated by this second tone control. So if you have it all the way off, the preamp's still on a little bit, so it gives the amp a little bit more punch. You get a little bit more sustain and kind of compression right out of the get-go. And then when you add that preamp, you can add it all the way up or any point in between, and it gives you a whole lot of boost, kind of eliminating, for some people, the need for an extra boost pedal or a tube screamer-ish type of thing. I kind of like using both, to be honest with you, because you get a whole myriad of tones. But anyway, let's just kind of go through this so I can show you what's happening here. This tone control, the first tone control is a TBX tone control. It adds some more highs. When you turn on that preamp, it's a mid boost, so you have the need for a few more highs. So that's when you turn that thing all the way up. On the production line Clapton's, there's a little detent about number 5 on this tone control. On this one, they just eliminate it so that there's no speed bump. You can just turn it up and down. I like to just keep it all the way up at all times because that's the way I roll. Anyway, so let's check this out. Here's that neck pickup with the volume on the guitar at about, I don't know, 7-ish. Here's the volume all the way up. Now let's add this tone control right here, the second one, the preamp, all the way up. I've got the tone control all the way up here, this one, the TBX, so you got the full Monty of the high end that the guitar can offer. And here's the other thing with this guitar, you don't have to have this thing either at 0 or all the way up. There's all kinds of cool color tones in between, depending on what you want. You can mess around to your heart's content. Let's go to the number 2 position, which is the back pickup and the middle pickup together, so you can hear how that sounds. And what's cool about this with the preamp is that it allows you to get a little bit more compression, a little bit more meat out of that number 2 position than you normally get without the preamp. It's got a particular tone to it that's kind of sexy, so check that out. Now let's turn that preamp up. It's almost like putting on a fuzz pedal, to be honest with you. It beefens it up in such a way that it's almost Fuzzville. But one of the things I really like to do with this preamp is I like to go on the back pickup. And back pickup on the Strat is usually something that if you want to get a little bit more sustain out of and get a little bit more filth, you got to have either a tube screamer or some kind of device to fatten up the tone. What I like to do with these Clapton Strats, you go on the back pickup, you turn the preamp all the way up, and it already gives you this. I lot more beef, humbuckerish type of tone. But then if you put an overdrive pedal on top of that, then you're really rocking. You get the idea. This thing has a bountiful bouquet of tones lurking inside of it. It's up to you, listener, to take and feast and unleash them into the humankind world. Again, let's review. This is a Masterbuilt Eric Clapton Stratocaster from the custom shop, serial number JC764, John Cruz Masterbuilt. Glorious instrument. Greg Koch for Wildwood Guitars, saluting you all.